Hi learners, I am Dr.M.Subha, Assistant Professor, Department of English, Amet deemed to be University, Kanathur, Chennai, presenting a lecture on subject-verb agreement. Introduction. English is predominantly a second language in Indian context. Indian learners of English language strive to express their ideas and thoughts in English in a flawless language. It becomes very essential to construct sentences without mistakes, and this skill is the basic requirement of any non-native speaker of English language. And when we speak English, being the second language users of English language, when we speak, it should sound like English to an Englishman, and when we write it and when we read, it should read like English to an Englishman. So these are the basic requirements we should bear in our mind. So to speak and write flawless English, writing a sentence without mistakes is required. When we construct a sentence, it consists of two main parts. One is a subject, another is a verb. What is a subject? A subject answers the question what or who. For example, in the sentence Raju is an engineer, Raju is a subject. A subject is usually a noun or a noun phrase. And the additional details about the subject is called predicate. In this sentence, Raju is an engineer gives some more information about Raju, which is the predicate of the sentence. So a sentence contains minimum a subject and a predicate. In a sentence, next to the subject comes the verb. Okay. What is a verb? Verb is usually an action word that denotes an action. Okay. For example, in the sentence, Douglas is walking denotes what the subject, noun, Douglas is doing. Okay. It denotes an action. Okay. So what is this subject-verb agreement? Okay. The verb should agree with the subject in number, whether singular or plural, and person, whether first person, second person or third person. So the verb should agree with the subject in number and person is called subject-verb agreement. I came across an interesting explanation for the subject-verb agreement from Ashford University Writing Center definition. Okay. It explained that when subject takes S as the last letter, okay, the verb doesn't take it. When the subject doesn't take S as the last letter, the verb takes. Simply to explain it, I play volleyball. I is a third person singular. So the verb play is used in its root form. I play volleyball. Second sentence, he plays cricket. He is the third person singular, which takes the verb plays. With the root form of the verb play, S is also added. Okay. So it is he plays cricket for third person singular. When it comes to third person plural, the sentence falls like this: girls play hockey. The subject girl has taken up S and the verb in its root form play is used. Girls play hockey. To have a few more sentences to explain to you what is subject and verb, let's go to this Ben Mudrak's highlight on the usage of subject-verb agreement. First sentence is, Ben Mudrak highlights the following usages in relevance to subject-verb agreement. The first sentence is, the analysis of the results reveals a significant difference between the groups. Here, for your better understanding, the subject is underlined. The subject is the analysis. Usually, the subject can be a single noun or a noun phrase, and when the subject and the verb are put apart, not staying close by, for example, it can be put apart using a conjunction or a connective. For example, Raju and Ravi are good friends. Raju and Ravi, two subjects are combined using the conjunction and, are good friends. So, similarly, noun phrases can also be clubbed, two nouns can be clubbed, thus keeping the subject and verb apart, to stay apart. So, in this sentence, the analysis of the results reveals a significant difference between the groups. The subject is the analysis, okay, which is a unit, a singular, which takes the verb reveals. Okay. The next one, the material that was applied to the blades of wind turbines ages rapidly in tests. Okay. The material is the subject. To support the subject, some more information is provided in this sentence. The material that was applied to the blades of wind turbines. Some more additional information to the subject is provided, but the subject remains as the material, for which the verb ages, third person singular, so that along with the verb s is getting added. The material ages rapidly in tests. Next sentence, each of the samples was treated with the same dose of antibiotics. Okay. The words like each, every, these are called some special pronouns. When these subjects take place in a sentence, it should be considered as singular, so that verbs should be used as singular. For example, in this given sentence, each of the samples was treated with the same dose of antibiotics. Okay. Each takes was. Okay. Next sentence, the participants who enter the study receive questionnaires. Okay. The subject is the participants, which is a plural subject. Plural subject takes a plural verb. Here, the participants receive questionnaires. Okay. Some additional more information by providing a relative pronoun who is also added in the sentence. We should know how to differentiate it. We need to focus only on the subject, and some more additional information is likely to be there, and we should know how to discern it. Okay. The participants is the plural, which takes the verb receive. Next sentence, the participants who enter the study receive questionnaires, as it is the same repetition. Next one, the percentage of correct responses as well as the speed of the responses significantly increases with practice. Yes, conjunctions. Conjunctions can be used, as I stated earlier, in the simple sentence like Raju and Ravi are good friends. Here, two noun phrases are combined using the conjunction as well as the percentage of correct responses as well as the speed of the responses significantly increases with practice. The conjunction as well as does not affect the singular status. So, even after adding as well as, the subject remains as singular. So, the verb is increases, third person singular verb should be used here. The percentage of correct responses as well as the speed of the responses significantly increases with practice. Not only the conjunction as well as, in addition to as well as, we can have with, together with, along with. All these conjunctions or connectives, when they are used to add to noun phrases, the whole lot subject will be considered as singular. The Writing Center of University of Wisconsin explains subjects joined by and take plural verbs. Both Tom and Jane have English 167 papers due on Tuesday. So, the conjunction and is used, both Tom and Jane, the subject has taken up the plural verb have. In the next sentence, Tom as well as Jane has an English 207 paper due on Tuesday. Here the conjunction as well as is used, which never changes the singular status of the subject. So, the singular verb has is used. The next rule is singular subjects joined by or, nor, either or neither nor take a singular verb, similar to as well as. The other conjunctions like or, nor, either or, neither nor also take singular verb. For example, either the man or his wife knows the truth of the matter. Okay. Both are singular, man, his wife. Okay. And the verb is also singular. Either the man or his wife knows. Okay. Next sentence, neither money nor power was important any longer. So, that is also considered as a singular unit which takes singular verb. When the compound subject is joined by or, nor, neither nor, either or, and one part of the compound subject is singular and the other part is plural, the verb needs to agree with the part closest to it. In the previous examples, the man, wife, money, power. In these examples, it was a singular or a singular unit. Okay. But when the two subjects vary, that one subject is singular and the other is plural, the verb should agree with the nearest or the closest subject. For example, neither students nor their teacher are participating in this play, which is wrong because the verb are does not agree with teacher. The verb should agree with the closest subject. The closest subject is teacher. So, the correct answer should be neither students nor their teacher is participating in this play. Next sentence. Neither my mother nor my sisters are coming to visit me this summer. So, here the verb is coming. Okay. And the closest subject is sisters, which takes plural verb are. So, when neither nor, either or nor, that when these conjunctions are used, verb should agree with the closest subject. Effective Writing Practices tutorial of Northern Illinois University explains the following usage. My friend with his parents are flying in today to visit me and my family. My friend, which is a singular subject, with his parents, that additional information does not affect the singular status of the subject. Are flying in today to visit me and my family is wrong. Okay, the verb should be is. So, the correct sentence is my friend with his parents is flying in today to visit me and my family. Okay, next sentence. Lara together with a friend practice yoga every day. Okay, Lara is a singular. Together with a friend does not affect the singular status of the subject. So, the verb should be practices instead of practice. Okay. So, when the singular status of two subjects combined by conjunction remains singular, it takes a singular verb. When one subject is singular combined with any of the conjunctions and the other subject is plural, verb should agree with the closest subject. Another category which causes confusion in subject-verb agreement to the learner is, as the Writing Center of the University of Wisconsin further explains, that if the subject is following the verb in the sentence rather than preceding it, still it has to agree with it in number. That means, if the subject does not fall in the beginning of the sentence. Suppose the subject falls in the end of the sentence. For example, that here is my mobile, here is my handout. The subjects are my mobile and the handout. Okay. So, in the given sentences, subject falls in the end of the sentence. Okay. Even in that case, verb should agree with the subject. For example, here is my test scores. The subject is my test scores, which is plural, which should take the verb are and not is. So, the correct sentence is, here are my test scores. Collective nouns which refer to a group of people or things can take either a singular verb or a plural one. And we cannot bring all the language, English language usage under the term called grammar rules. There are always exemptions. So, when the collective nouns or non-count nouns are used, depending upon the context, meaning, situation and usage, verb should be used. Okay. For example, the diversity committee was well represented at the last board meeting. Okay. The diversity committee, a single unit, okay, which takes singular verb was. The sense is, it can be two, meanings. One, the diversity committee was well represented in the board of meeting, or the work done by the diversity committee was well represented in the board of meeting. In both the cases, it is considered as singular, so which takes a singular verb was. The diversity committee was well represented at the last board meeting. Okay. The next example is the people were voting. The people were voting during election day. Okay. The people, it means the each and every single person, okay, which means plural. Okay, so that here plural verb is used, not the singular. So based on the usage, whether the subject is the singular verb or the plural verb should be decided by the learner. Okay. And this kind of sentences we can expect in almost all the competitive exams under spot the error or error correction category. We are getting these sentences, which is really tricky for a second language learner, especially an Indian. Okay. Next sentence is the audience was watching the show. Audience as a single collective noun. The whole lot of audience was watching the show. The next sentence is the audience were cheering since the show was a good entertainer. Okay, audience, each and every one in the whole lot of audience were cheering, were enjoying. So which means each and every individual. That takes a plural verb were. Next one is ethics is an important component of human study. The next category is some subjects, especially nouns like physics, ethics, economics, mathematics, news. These words, though they end up with yes, it is not plural, it is singular, which takes a singular verb. Okay. For example, ethics is an important component of human study. Ethics is a subject, is a singular, though it ends with yes, which takes a singular verb. Next sentence, very little data was provided to substantiate the hypothesis, the whole lot of data. The collective noun, which takes a singular verb. The next sentence is the data for the study were collected from over 300 participants, which means each and every individual survey report. Okay. So it has taken the plural verb. The data for the study were collected from over 300 participants. The next nuance is a relative pronoun like who, which or that used as a subject of an adjective class takes either a singular or plural verb in order to agree with its antecedent. This is also again contextual based on the situation and usage. The learner should decide it. Okay. Mary is one of the students who have done honor to the college. Okay. Mary is not the only student who has brought laurel to the college. Mary is one of the students. Like Mary, there are some other students who have brought laurels to the college. So, Mary is one of the students who have done honor to the college. The verb have should agree with the subject students here, because similar to Mary, there are other candidates who have brought laurels to the institution. The next sentence, Mary is the only one of our students who has achieved national recognition. But here in the second sentence, Mary is the only candidate who brought laurels to the institution. So in this case, the verb should agree with the subject students. Mary is the only one of our students who has achieved national recognition. It should agree with the subject Mary and not the students. In the previous sentence, verb have agreed with the students because many students have brought laurels. In this sentence, only Mary has brought laurels to the institution. Last one, of all our students, Mary is the only one who has achieved national recognition. Again, it is the only single person who has brought laurels, so that the verb singular should be used. The next rule in terms of subject verb agreement to be followed when you write sentences is, when regarded as a unit, collective nouns as well as noun phrases denoting quantity take singular verbs. mentioning the quantity 55 in numbers, 76 in numbers. For example, the whole family is active, which means the whole lot of family is a collective noun. Family is a collective noun, okay, which takes when it is used as a collective noun in that sense, not mentioning the each and every individual of the family, it takes a singular verb. For example, the whole family is active. The next sentence, 1,000 bushels is a good yield. Again a collective noun. It means a collective noun. 1,000 bushels is a good yield. On the contrary, if you come to the next two sentences, the family have met their various obligations. Obligations are many and also individuals are many. Okay, it varies in number. That means plural. So the family have met their various obligations. The plural verb have is used in this context. 1,000 bushels were crated. Again, it means the individual bushels. The next important rule is subjects that express time, amount or country names also take a singular verb. For example, 40,000 is an average starting salary for a computer science graduate. It denotes the amount, the quantity 40,000, which should take a singular subject. 40,000 is an average starting salary for a computer science graduate. The next sentence, 22:10 hours is the arrival time of Ludhiana New Delhi Shatabdi Express. Okay. Time mentioning also takes a singular verb. 21:10 hours is the arrival time of Ludhiana New Delhi Shatabdi Express. The last sentence is, as I stated earlier, some words though they end with S, for example mathematics, physics, ethics, though they end with the letter S, it means singular. Okay. Similar to the country name, the Netherlands ends with the letter S, but it is not plural, it is singular. The Netherlands is a European country that borders Belgium. Okay. It's again singular, which takes a singular verb. The Writing Center of University of Wisconsin explains each, either, neither, neither, anyone, anybody, anything, someone, somebody, something, one, everyone, everybody, everything, no one, nobody, nothing, take singular verbs. Previously I made a mention about special pronouns, and some of these words fall under that category. So these special pronouns take a singular verb. For example, neither likes the friends of the other. Neither, singular, takes singular verb likes. Everyone in the fraternity has his own set of prejudices. Everyone takes the verb has. Each of the rowers takes her turn at rowing. Okay. Each takes the verb within single quote takes. Every one of the fraternity members has his own set of prejudices. Every takes the verb has. Here comes exercise 1, asking you to work it out first, then listen to the audio. First sentence, my friend with his parents is or are flying in today to visit me and my family. Which verb is more appropriate to the subject my friend? So, my friend is a singular subject which takes singular verb is. Either my mother or my sisters are or is coming to visit me this summer. Subject is either my mother or my sisters. Okay. So, the verb should agree with the closest subject sisters. Sisters take the plural verb are. Either my mother or my sisters are coming to visit me this summer. Next sentence, Raj together with Ravi practices or practice jogging every day. Raj together with Ravi. This together with Ravi does not affect the singular status of the subject. So, it takes a singular verb. Raj together with Ravi practices jogging every day. Next sentence, healthy diet and regular exercise are or is a necessity for a longer, happier life. So, two things, healthy diet and regular exercise is combined with the conjunction and. So it's a plural which takes the plural verb are. Healthy diet and regular exercise are a necessity for a longer, happier life. Next one, the police officers or the chief files or file reports. Which verb? Files, whether files or file will be more appropriate to the subject, the police officers or the chief. The verb should agree with the closest subject, the chief. The chief files reports is the appropriate usage. Exercise 2. The first sentence. Rock climbing and step aerobics are or is my favorite cardio exercise. Here two subjects are combined using the conjunction and. So, which takes a plural verb. Rock climbing and step aerobics are my favorite cardio exercises. Neither the teacher nor the students want or wants to eliminate the school's recycling program. Neither the teacher nor the students want, because the subject should agree with the closest, the verb should agree with the closest subject, students. The documents need or needs to be shredded. Okay. The documents is plural which take the plural verb need. Next one, down the list reads or read the hiring manager. The subject is the hiring manager and the verb should agree with the subject, the hiring manager. So, down the list reads the hiring manager. The last one, the whole foods market chain specializes or specialize in natural products and organic produce. Is a collective noun which takes a singular verb. The whole foods market chain specializes in natural products and organic produce. Yes, subject and verb agreement is having some nuances. This lecture covered those nuances, especially when the subject is a single word, it becomes easy for the learner to identify the verb. But when the subject is a noun phrase or two noun phrases are combined with conjunctions like neither, nor, either, or, as well as, it confuses any second language learner. So, the main intention is to provide more insight into the working of these nuances. And also when the subject does not fall in the beginning of a sentence, when it falls in the end of the sentence, again the learner gets confused. So, even in that case, verb should agree with the subject. So, these nuances need to be understood clearly to write and speak flawless English. Thank you.